So I want to show you, this is the downrigger ball. You can see it on Sonar. It's a little bit outside of the Sonar beam. It's on the outer edge of it. So I can swivel the downrigger towards the boat, and that'll put it more hard, put it more solid on the fish finder. So I swiveled it. And now you'll notice the return's a lot more solid. And I just want it kind of hugging the bottom because I'm catching hybrids on the bottom, and a lot of times they don't want to pop up and chase the bait like a white bass will. A white bass, you can get it 3-4 feet above their head. A lot of times these hybrids, you got to almost scrape the bottom of the lake or be just within a foot of the bottom or so to have better luck. But that's why it's important. I can see it. I don't see any positive movements towards my bait, so that tells me, you know, maybe 3.5 miles, 3.1 mile per hour is too fast today. So I'm going to try to go with the wind and just see if I can slow down a little bit. What we're seeing now is I'm turning, and my downrigger cable is producing a lot of artifact on my Sonar. Right now it's because I'm turning, but if you ever see this, what you need to do is swivel your cannonball away from the boat, and that'll help those images just totally clear up. Right now I'm turning, but it's a good example of why you want to swivel, so that way you can swivel it not only in and out of the boat, but swivel it in and out of your Sonar beam. So that way you have a nice pretty image. Otherwise you're losing a lot of fish that you're just not seeing, or seeing very, very sparsely. Sometimes you have to slow down and kick your motor out of gear. Other times you may have to get on your trolling motor if the fish are finicky. But always just kind of be mindful of that. That's one reason I want to see my ball on Sonar. Like right now this morning, for whatever reason, the water's 80 degrees, the fish are on top of structure, and that usually when they're on top of structure, I have better luck downrigging for them than say if they're on the deeper edge of structure, but they're not biting as much. So what I'm going to start doing is really just slowing down. I may even get on the trolling motor and go like a mile and a half, since it's not real windy, to help me. But I put my trolling motor in the water and I actually turned it sideways. That way it'll help slow me down a little bit and just see if the fish respond to that. So always be mindful, pay attention to whether they're coming up. First off, are you catching any fish? And I should be catching them, and then I'm not. So I'm gonna start kicking my motor out of gear and just letting it coast. And we'll see if that pays off. But I find, if the water's below like 75 degrees or so, I usually don't have very good luck downrigging. So usually I start downrigging when the water's in the upper 70s, kind of in the summertime. And we're driving over a school of fish right now, and I want to show you that. You can see my cannonball. It's going right above their heads, just maybe a foot or two above their heads. And these are hybrids on the bottom, and look, one of them looks like it came up and he kind of came down and shot away from it. I want to see him streaking up towards it. A lot of times if you're fishing for hybrids and you're almost scraping the bottom, you really won't see any positive movements of them going up. White bass in particular, you will, because you fish higher above their head typically. But that's what you're looking for. I'm seeing my downrigger go right above these fish and they're not biting. So that tells me I'm gonna make one more pass. I'm gonna drop it down 6 inches. And I just wanna see if I just almost scrape their head, is it gonna produce more fish?